American stuff. You know, I mean, I am integrated. I don't know integrated to what, but I'm integrated. So.
Well, I just kind of want to go back because just think we've known each other over 40 years.
Yeah.
You know, granted, we haven't seen each other in about 33 years, but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're still one of those I consider like a brother. You know, you know, I have my twin brother John. You know, then I have, you know, like John Byard. You know, I have you. You know, for my Florida friends. You know, we started, you know, meditating. You know, first together. You know, I met you in New York City. You know, we got on, you know, on that bandwagon. Oh, hey, New York, hey, Lord.
I told Karen I could wear it because I'm not a tourist. You know, I feel like I'm part of me as a New Yorker. I always will be. You know, so it's a good thing. Yeah, but you're right. You know, we know each other for over 40 years, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and I always felt with you that I always, and, you know, a few others, of course, that no matter where we left off, you know, we just pick right up, you know, so it is a great thing to feel. You know, it makes you feel like you're part of a community, even though we had left that community a long time ago. So all good.
You know, and we started windsurfing together, you know.
Yep, I'll never forget. Remember that day on 79th Street on Pelican Harbor? Those freaking Germans, man, get up on that thing and just go, you know. It's like, yeah, well, nobody told you there's current under the bridge, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And we were next door neighbors, remember that? You know,
yep. We were neighbors next door when you were with when you had Chandra.
Yeah.
And we were Connie and James next door, and then then I moved out, you know, and then you know, we kind of lost touch for a while, but then, you know, you went to California. I think you went to California. Yeah.
You went to California.
Right? Yeah. You went to California, and then. I don't remember how we hooked up again, but you know, it's all good, man. You know, I love you, brother. You know, you know how it is.
You can call me mother, brother.
I could. What we used to call you when you were the cook over at the ashram. We used to call you? Can't remember. I always called you Rick, but I mean, you know, there was something. I think that people used to call you mother because you used to feed everybody. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what's up, bro?
So what's up? You know, life's an incredible journey. You know, as you know, I wrote that book, Family and Friends. You know, and I documented about 540 people.
Wow.
So I started with my all the way from my kindergartner friends. I went all the way through. You know, and I really saw, you know, like there's a web that ties us all together. You know, you and I are definitely involved in that web. So what I'm doing is, as you know, I have that audio book and a written book. So in the written book, so a person can go to Ovidio Deleon, and then they can read about him, and then they'll be able to launch this session and to see, you know, more in detail, you know, because a lot of times, you know, you read something, but it's quite different when you read something and when you see a conversation going on. It kind of makes, you know, that conversation kind of sinks, you know, everything together. Oh, okay. Oh, this is why, you know, Rick said on video, he likes to laugh, and some people can see you laughing. People can see you smiling, you know. People can hear, you know, a wisdom. So that's my overall thing. So I'm starting initially with all the friends that I know. I'm even going back to my trip around the world. So I'm starting my surfing adventures in France, and where I met this divine character named Peter Lingle. And so we were the ones that journeyed from France to India, and we carried our surfboards. So on Sunday, I'm going to have a video, you know, a Zoom session with him, and I'm calling these. Pardon me.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm calling these sessions talk stories. So I say talk stories. You know, as you know, talk stories is a Hawaiian slang word. So talk stories with Ovidio Deleon. So that's what this
Howley.
is. Yeah, Hal, exactly. Uh, so you know, I just kind of want to get into your mind. You know, get into kind of like, you know, your journey in life. You know, has been an incredible journey. So I you know, since this is kind of like storytelling. So you could, you know, I'm trying to get the best stories, you know, that are the most memorable. It doesn't have to be about me, but just stories in life in general. Even you know, how you met your lovely wife. You know, I just got a real good connection, you know, between you two, and that's a, you know, that's powerful thing just right there. You know?
Well, that's because you know that she's behind me somewhere here.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
so.
But
No.
I have real good intuition. So when you talked about Karen, you know, I just got, you know, a flash. You know, they're good couples. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, we've been together for 30. Let's see, 30 more like so yeah, about 36 years. 34 years, you know,
34.
we've been together, you know, after my first marriage with Susan. Remember Susan?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we broke up, and um, yeah, I met her at a doctor's office, because I don't know if you remember, back in those days, Miami was like the Wild West. And I, you know, I used to have I remember Alvaro.
Yeah, yeah.
He was my partner in crime at the time. And when broke up that you know, partnership, I wanted to check that I was in good shape. So I went to the doctor's office through a friend of mine. At the time, he was my partner. We had a landscaping business. I don't know if you knew, up in Aventura, in a flower shop. So I went to the doctor, and guess who was at the doctor? Karen was working as a nurse. I mean, as an assistant at the doctor. The doctor was her godfather.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she got impressed by the fact that at that, you know, during the day I was wearing dark sunglasses, and you know, inside. So well, you were impressed, no? It made an impression. That's what she said. So I felt that this was the right person for me. There was something, you know, that I wanted to grab her and kiss her, believe it or not, at the doctor's office. And then basically she gave me her number and said, let's see if we can get together. And that's how the whole thing started.
Oh, wow. Oh, cool.
Yeah. And never forget after that, you know. And it's like, at the same time, she also wanted to check, see in case I had any type of diseases, you know, since she's always at the doctor's office. What? Yeah, there was A testing at the time, you know. So, and I came up that I was fairly healthy. So she figured, hey, might as well take a chance with him, you know. I mean,
I saw that picture. I think you posted it on Facebook about
which one?
The one is a picture of you guys renting out your cell boards, and you had a trailer, and she was in
right,
the window.
Right. Yeah. That was early in '93 or '94.
Okay. Yeah.
That's when we still had just a single trailer on the beach, and we just in '92 I bought the business.
Okay.
And we basically built it from scratch, you know, up to 25 years later. You know, we had a really decent business, and love what I did for so long. You know, I mean, I still love the sport. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping tomorrow is going to be windy, so I might be able to hit the water. But yeah, you know, I mean, I spent 25 years windsurfing in the windsurfing business, and it's like life moved fairly quickly, to the point where it's like, oh my God, that passed so quickly. And I had some of the best times, I mean, having my daughter there, daughter just turned 23, so, it's been a good life, I'm not complaining at all. I don't have any regrets,
Hmm.
and it's like, but yeah, there's been a lot of changes. Don't forget, I left Uruguay in the beginning of '74, moved to New York City. Um, I got involved with Maharaji in '75. I received knowledge, I think, in '76.
Hmm.
And then I moved into the ashram with you guys, and I left before Rome. Remember the program in Rome?
Oh yeah, yeah, remember that? Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
But the reason why, well, it was time for me to move on, but I just couldn't leave at the time. I don't know if you remember. I didn't have my resident card, so I overstayed my welcome in the States, and basically I had to make a choice. Either I'm going to Rome and not being able to come back, or I got to stay here and leave the ashram, and that's what I did.
Hmm.
So, but then, life takes over, and you just go with the punches. I mean, I did. Before I left Uruguay, there was a lot of problems, just like what we have here in Portland now, and our president at the time had given up the power to the military, and it became a military dictatorship, first time ever in the history of Uruguay. And in my generation and generation previously and the generation after are the ones that pay the price. I mean, everybody scatter or end up in jail, or or dead, or who knows what.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I count the blessings,
Hmm.
and I've been able to spend a lot of time on the water, it feels like it's something that I didn't realize that I like as much as I do, but it
Hmm.
calls me. So, it's all good. Whether you're surfing, paddleboarding, kayaking, windsurfing, I don't care.
Yeah,
It's all good.
exactly.
Yeah, or swimming. What the heck? So,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
but yeah,
and I can't even do that now. I used to swim, every day, at Lifetime Fitness. Remember,
I thought
I
you
would
had a
do.
pool.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Well, right now, I don't go anywhere.
Oh, that's right. You mean because of COVID?
Yeah, yeah,
Ah, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Because you were using the pool of the YMCA. I remember that, right?
yeah. Lifetime
Yeah.
Fitness. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They had an outdoor pool and a indoor pool. And I
Yeah.
told you I was doing unorthodox workouts. Swimming in the
Yeah.
water.
Which is, it's what keeps you involved. If you get bored with any type of workout, that's it. It's done. I
Yeah.
mean, I taken Tai Chi again. I took it for 3 years with an old Chinese man here. It took me quite a while to find a teacher that I felt that was willing to give, and at the same time being humble enough to be able to teach it the art. And we just got right before COVID. Um, he said, I can't do this because 73 years old. He doesn't want to risk it, But it's just like almost like a coming around circle. I remember starting Tai Chi with Joe Lopez in New York when I was 19, and then so many years later, I'm back to the art. But now it gets cut off, so it's up to you. It's up to you, each individual, to be able to figure out what it is that they need and where they had to go to be able to find that balance.
Mhm.
And for me, it's I always had to go inside because it's the only place I found peace. My mind is like a freaking train, and it always running somewhere, and it's like it takes time, and effort just for me to get back to basics,
Mhm. Yeah.
and being here now
Mhm. Yeah.
still applies.
And and the world in general. The way I look at the further distant a society gets from nature, divorced from nature, the more chaos will reside. Especially right now. Common sense should be common. In terms of right, if there's a pandemic, if there's something, that the whole world is being shut down, the way I look at it, Mother Nature has told us to go to our rooms.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
humanity, go to your rooms. Think things over. There's a lesson, to be learned here. But
Yeah.
I don't think we're very good at learning lessons. We should be.
I get a little bit too realistic about situations, especially when it comes to politics, due to my previous experiences, and I get very sarcastic about anything that is related to politics.
Yeah.
And it is Karen is very try to be a very positive person when it comes to changing the world. But for me, it's just like it scares me, because I've seen this before, and it gets to the point where sometimes you feel like, as an individual, you have no control over what's going on, and it's like, so what do you do?
Yeah.
As a South American, I would say grab the guns and go out the streets, but I know that doesn't work. So it's
But they say it takes. Oh, go ahead.
No.
Oh, I said that they say it takes about 1 million years for a civilization to grow up. Just think, we're not the only kids, in town. If we've been, alive for eternity, no beginning, no ends, there's got to be, nobody gets a free ride. No civilization, no world gets a free ride. I'm sure this scenario on Earth has happened probably thousands of times, or not millions of times. But there's a point where people, society, the world can mature. It's either you don't, or you'll self-destruct. So, and I preferred, thinking that, because most human beings are kind of like you and me. It's only just a few, the bad apples, on the top.
Yeah, that's exactly the problem, that the people who are supposedly in control and have the power to change things, they are so caught up on themselves and so selfish that they forget that they could do so much more for the world, for people in general, for the whole world, to become a better place for everybody to live, if they only put their best foot forward. But it's just, that's not the case. They are selfish. They're scared.
Yeah.
They figure they have power, control, and money, and that will give them some kind of salvation or something. I had no idea. But I could tell you that it's like seeing our seeing 45. Excuse me. He's not a happy man.
No.
He is chewed out by his demons, and he just like, he's not happy. The dude is not happy, and and I will never. One thing I have found is, like, I don't want to be anybody else's flip flops, and I don't call it shoes, but I don't want to work in anybody else's flip flops. I'm thankful for my path, and I try. We all try to do our best. So
Yeah.
what is it? Think globally, act locally. And it's like, be kind to everybody next, close to you. Because it's a better option. Anyway. So. Unless somebody tries to hit me, and then I put them down.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I wrote a book on conscious politics. So the closest today that we have and conscious politics is driven by kindness, by compassion, patience, tolerance, and the closest today is the Prime Minister of New Zealand. She.
The girl.
Yeah,
yes.
the girl, Jacinda, I forgot what her last name, but
yes.
she, was saying, that in politics in New Zealand, for years has been driven, you teach your youngsters how to be kind, but when it comes to politics, you teach them to be mean. And says, this has gotta stop. So this is the first time, in New Zealand's history, where it actually had a woman who's come to the forefront to say that we're guiding our country through kindness. Kindness is the only way, that it's a win-win situation for all. Through kindness, you're going to make laws, that are practical, that actually help for one another. They went through that, the same, virus, epidemic that we did, and pretty much it's maybe 99% in control, right now, because people use common sense. There is no political bickering, right? Both sides of the aisle realize that this isn't, one side versus the other side. When you have an eagle, you need both wings to fly, right?
Yep.
So they were mature enough. Once again, the word maturity, emotional maturity in politics. So now, and one country can do that, and the Scandinavian countries are pretty close to that, in terms of having universal, healthcare for all. That they think Americans work too much, where they get 6 months, to 2 months. I'm sorry, 6 weeks to 2 months vacation a year.
It's the only country in the world that does that. It's like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Our society is, I'm sorry, it's geared towards never stop, and like always keep moving, always keep trying to get something, and it's like that search gets you lost, because you get to a point where it's like, why am I running? And especially now with COVID, it just brings you. I mean, I was concerned because before then, I just finished getting rid of the business. Felt like, oh, I'm slowed down enough, I'm in a rush, I don't have to go anywhere. And then everybody else around me, the same thing happened to them, but it was forced. I was willing just to slow down. No, they were forced to slow down. The world is forced to. The city shut, the country shut down for, I don't know, a couple of months, whatever, and that could have been a big plus if all the money that I got invested on this recovery would have been geared towards the right fields, instead of just bailing out a old non-working system. But instead, they just went back to status quo. And I think it's just the money that I got spent on bailing out the banks or bailing out the petroleum, could have been spent on green energy, which would have saved a lot of people. That money that went to the banks, to bail out the corporations, could have been spent on the little guy, on the guy that has less than 10 employees working, the mom and pops, but instead we fed all this stimulus into a system that is already failing, and what we do is just try to keep it going. It's like a foundation that is cracking, and they just keep putting band-aids on the bottom, but I don't know.
Yeah, and the way I look at it, there's so many people like you and me. To be honest, I think the light is shining more than ever. When you shine a light on something, right, it reveals all the darkness, doesn't it? Right now, this virus is revealing every single corner,
It shows the cracks.
Yeah. And so in one way that's good. And another way, I think humanity, we just need to do that more and more and more and more, so there, just think someday there will come a point where you see a negative campaign, on TV, negative advertisement, in your mind will say, I am not going to vote for that person. If all the citizens of the United States only voted for those people who were truly concerned for their fellow man, we wouldn't vote these other jokers, in office. So,
well, people, there's an apathy that is prevailing in our society, and a lot of people don't see it, and they discount it as, I don't want to vote. That's not going to change anything. But it's beyond that, it just it comes down to the lack of understanding of what it is that we're supposed to be doing, I mean, how we're supposed to be behaving towards each other and stuff. It's like what's going on with the lack of courtesy nowadays. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's just like, I don't care. I mean, I grew up waking up in the morning, going outside and saying hello to the first person that walked by. I didn't care who it was.
Yeah,
It was just an acknowledgement, and it's like those days are gone. I go outside now and I'd say hello to somebody. It's like, it's like they don't even acknowledge that you're there. They don't care. Or if they do care, then they're certainly not showing it. So kindness is at high demand nowadays. Common courtesy is majorly missed, especially when you see so much rudeness out there and so much callousness. It's like, it's not what I like, but,
Yeah, I wrote, on my bookshelf for 40 years, imagine I had the Tao Te Ching. And it wasn't during this, this epidemic, the shutdown. One day I glanced at this book, and I said, every time I pick it up and I read the first chapter, chapter 1, this first page, and I love it. But then I put it down. And I said, well, this time I'm not going to do that. So I went through all 81, chapters, verses or whatever they are. And then I started doing commentaries on that. And then I really saw, that all those attributes that you're talking about, the basic, the universe itself are those principles, is kind, is patient. It is weak, but we think weakness is weak and strong. We want to be strong. But, in there, they gave an analogy of water. Water is the meekest, the most, subtlest forces, but you don't want to mess around with water. I said, like for being a surfer riding, let's say like a 50-foot wave, you're riding, it's a life or death situation, a hurricane, is coming your way, and there's water involved, the rain.
The surge.
Yep, powerful force, but in our society, it's all backwards, especially right now when we have, let's say, if I told you a lie 5 times, you would probably say after a while, Richard, I don't believe a word you say.
What the heck is wrong with you, man?
Yeah. And so then we have a person in charge who's lied over 15,000 times in 4 years. And yet, so many people think that. I mean, I even have some of my friends who are Christian friends about are into him, and I say, well, I give them the same old scenario, and they says, well, all politicians lie, but the thing is, that this is totally out of the abnormal, 15,000 times, and so we have a society, as you're saying, we're lacking. Politics, if you don't lead with love, compassion, caring for your citizens, then you're no use to no one.
Well, from my previous experience, I grew up in a system that was oppressive. And that is one thing about being in South Florida, that always struck me since I moved from New York, when I moved down here. You were here. Even then, it was the fact that people don't understand that when the people are oppressed, whether it's from left or the right, it's the same thing. So it doesn't matter, they try to break you, they're trying to direct you. They're trying to move you around, we're basically cattle, but anyway, growing up in Uruguay under that, system that it was falling apart, and seeing in the streets, people getting shot, people getting hit, people being chased, it just kind of, I never thought that I would see it in the States, to tell you the truth. And, I always felt that, back in the days, that we had the power to change, and then it has taken 50 years to realize that we haven't changed much at all, you know. But you know, to me, it makes me feel a bit insecure when I see the stuff that's going on in Portland, and I see the type of behavior that our president shows or expresses, you know, and realize that he's a demagogue. You know, he is just like any other dictator out there, you know, and uses the same techniques. And the thing that hurts me the most is to realize how many of my friends, okay, follow this dude. How many of them, you know, agree with him? And it's just like, I just don't understand. You know, I mean, you seem to be a very common sense person. You seem to be a caring person. I have you as a friend because I consider you those things. And then all of a sudden, you are just like wacko. You know, it's like, so I don't get it. I really don't get it. I think the American people are part of it anyway. A certain amount of it are just easily led by anybody, and especially if you start to introduce color, you know, race and everything else, you know, into it, which is what they're doing nowadays. You know, I mean, they just try to pin blacks against whites, you know, and so on and so forth, you know. So, you know, it's a scary time, but at the same time, I give thanks for what I have. Thanks for the love that I feel, you know, the love that I see, friends and family, you know, that they're always sharing that inner love, you know, that care that we have for each other, that kindness. So that's basically what keeps me in check, you know. Otherwise, I'll freak out.
And I think that's the most important thing to hold on to, isn't it? You know, is, you know, so, well, especially look at how far you've come, you know, since I've known you.
I haven't changed much, Rick.
What's that?
I have not changed much.
Well, in one way, you know,
got older.
But you know, you change in, let's say, for me, this journey, it's such small baby steps that we never know how far we've gone. You know, it isn't like a giant leap. But if you look back now and look back how far you've traveled, you know, since you were a teenager, and look back now, it's a difference between night and day.
Yeah.
So and don't you think that all learning is 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards? That's how we learn, you know, and that's how a society learns. You know, hopefully, you know, in 6 months we'll have another, you know, president will come in and kind of reset, you know, the wheels. But the thing is, I think as long as there's people like you and me, you know, have hope. I think the major things, don't give up hope. You know, that's you know, and to know, you know, for me, the way I look at, the more we pay attention to the universe, the more the universe starts paying attention to us. We then, you know, can be in a perfect, you know, alliance, you know, with nature. You know, that's I kind of think that's what we're here on Earth doing. Not to be in harmony with war, you know, with anger, you know, so on. We're here to, you know, to be in harmony with nature, with joy, happiness. That's our true state, isn't it? It's not in harmony, but presently. Well, you know, I think life is like a chemistry set. You know, basically every one of us, we're master chemists. We you know, are the ones, you know, if you know, like if someone gets angry at the sun in the sky, what does the sun do? Doesn't say a word, just shines, right? You know, and I think that's the same thing for us, you know, is that because Buddha said, you know, by getting angry, you're drinking your own poison. right? I mean,
Right.
and scientists even know that.
That's right. Yep.
Scientists even know as soon as you get anger, adrenaline, gets secreted. There's over 1,500, mind you, stress hormones gets released, and America can't even turn it off. So the faucet
Yep.
of adrenaline is on all the time.
Yeah.
First,
Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that.
first is and we can't stop that flow of anger initially. So you get anger, and in a flash, it's a response mechanism. But what you can control is the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can change. So you get angry, you stop, look, and listen. And so when you stop, you kind of even ponder for 1 second. If what I'm about to say is this going to cause harm, I'm not going to save it. And so then the adrenaline gets changed, and then you get hormones of patience, tolerance, that gets flooded in the body. So we can live, let's say, maybe 99% of the time, in those, chemical awareness, of peace, tolerance, and then we know that the human body is wired, unfortunately, for anger to trigger those, but it's only for 1 second, mind you. but most people hold on to it, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, is what we were talking about it earlier. We are a creature of habit, and if we are used to relying on fear to make us through the day, that's what we're gonna that's what we're gonna rely on. That's what we're going back to. But it's true, I mean, I wake up, thank you for, being able to wake up, I mean, just giving thanks for the basic things, I mean, yeah, I mean, that still holds true inside myself, that has never changed. Everything else is just, try not to react, try to be proactive. So I'm prepared for it, and root myself as much as I can.
Yeah.
And whether grounding yourself means being next to your wife 24/7 like I am nowadays, because she's working from home, or just meditating for however long, or just being able to practice Tai Chi grounding, I mean, anything, I mean,
Yeah.
so getting out on the water, going surfing, I mean, it makes you realize that nature itself, we're not going to kill this earth, the earth is going to kill us if we keep messing around with it, nature, we're not going to kill nature, nature's going to mess us up.
Yeah.
I mean, and if we do blow up the world, then the world will come back, nature will come back, we might not. But so it's just a matter of focusing on the stuff that is real, and we think that we are real because we live a certain amount of time, but we are really transient. Our reality is not quite as solid as we think it is, and I don't know. I thought we were here for a change. I just haven't been able to figure out what it is that I need to change or who I need to change. But I think it's just within myself, really. Because people say that they benefit by being around people who are kind to each other, and we get a lot of that. So count the blessings.
Yeah, I saw a wonderful story on NPR. Must have been about a couple of years ago. And it was about chickens. So they had these bunch of chickens. So they took the most aggressive chickens and put them into a group. This was for a 3-year study. And so you got that angry chickens, in one group. And then you have normal mom and pop chickens, with their chicklets, normal everyday chickens. So after 3 years, the angry chickens, not one existed. They all killed themselves. Were the other chickens, the happy-go-lucky chickens, the mom and pop chickens, the ones who just, led a normal, happy life. they survived, you know. And in that article that they said, you know, Darwin did not say survival of the fittest the most. He said cooperation. Cooperation is the main key. So
Yeah.
I kind of think, you know, most of humanity are those happy-go-lucky chickens, you know, who we just need to put those other chickens, you know, who want to fight with one another, put them in their own group.
Yeah. 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 Well, take it one day at a time. You know, be true to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something to be said about that. You know, it's the best way to get through the day. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Instead of fighting and.
Mm-hmm. We wanna. I think I'm kind of like you. When I put my head on that pillow at night, I don't want to have a care in the world. You know,
Right.
You know,
Right.
That, you know, that day, you know,
Yep.
I was kind, you know, to.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you don't have to worry when you go to sleep. You know, there's no burden that you gotta carry with you. You know what I mean? And there's no regrets. There's no feeling bad about screwing somebody else. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's not how we are. You know, I mean, that's not how we are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, you know, it's nice to be able to go to sleep and not having to worry about stuff. You know, and waking up in the morning and saying thank you. You know, I'm thankful for being awake. You know, and being able to breathe and you know, being able to make another day. You know, just be out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially well, you know, Christian, you know, my nephew, you know, he died not long ago. I mean, it's like
Yeah. Wow.
those type of things, man. My mom just passed a month ago.
Wow.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, it makes you realize the little things. You know, those are the things that they're important to us.
Yeah,
You know?
I really wanted to go surfing someday, you know, with Christian, because I'm, you know, I remember him as a kid, you know, and I would talk a lot of stories about surfing, you know, and then I see he got involved with a surfing lifestyle. And he had a surf shop, you know, and it created looks like an incredible atmosphere around South Beach, you know.
Yeah. And he got to surf some pretty good sized waves too. You know, I mean, he surfed most of Hawaii areas. You know, I mean, he didn't get into big stuff, you know, but he had a good life. You know, I mean, he had a good life. It's just that all of a sudden, like this,
Wow.
you know, it's just like, and as a young person, you know, it's just like you see that, it's like, oh my God, makes you realize how thankful you are. Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I think that my battery's gonna, hold on, let me see if I could plug it in. It just tells me that my battery is very low. Can you see me?
Yep, I can see that, yeah.
Okay, I don't know what that was. Let me just go to charge it. So yeah, anyway, Rick, you know, yeah, man, I don't know what else to tell you.
All right, well, this has been a wonderful conversation. You know, I always enjoy, you know, just listening to your voice, and this time,
you're you. So cute. Hold on.
Hey, you're upside down there. Yeah.
There we go. No, I'm just charging the phone.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, oops. All right. So yeah, man, I the same here. You know, I mean, we're brothers, bro. You know, I mean, and I appreciate. I love seeing you. You know, it's been a while. Haven't changed. You know, I saw a picture of your brother the other day, and it's like I said, I always used to confuse him.
But you know, John is still in incredible shape. My brother's still in incredible shape. Have you seen that picture? He's on a bar and he's extending his legs horizontally.
Yeah. He's like almost stretching. Yeah. No, he's in good shape. Well, you know, I mean, you stay in shape.
I still in shape. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so do I. You know, I mean, most of and it's funny because a lot of people our generation, they just let themselves go, man. You know, and it's like I don't understand how you can do that. You know, because it's not it's not about vanity. It's about how you feel. It's about how well it's your well-being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me,
So
it's preventative medicine. I was into
yes.
that when I was 18 years old. Well,
I'm sorry. So yes, exactly. Yeah.
uh-huh. Why anyway,
Right.
we should do this again someday, Yeah,
Okay.
we definitely got to.
Once you get me inspired, waking up in the morning and being able to talk about things, deep stuff is not my cup of tea, but only for you, brother.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, give my love to you and to your lovely wife and family.
I
Yeah.
will. All right. Stay true, okay?
Okay. Likewise.
I talk to you soon. Love you,
Okay.
bro.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.